For decades, we believed that cognitive decline was an inevitable part of aging, that our brains were on a fixed, one-way path. But what if I told you that the latest science, backed by an unprecedented amount of hard data, tells a completely different story? What if you could actually influence your brain's age, making it younger, sharper, and more resilient, and you could start to see these changes in a matter of months? This isn't science fiction. It's the conclusion drawn from one of the most extensive brain imaging studies ever conducted. Over the past 30 years, one renowned psychiatrist and his team have analyzed a staggering 250,000 brain scans from patients across the globe. This massive database has given us a revolutionary window into how the brain truly functions, how it's damaged, and most importantly, how it can be healed. The key finding from all this research is both simple and profound. Your brain is the organ of your personality, your judgment, and your character. When your brain is healthy, you are more likely to be healthy, happier, and more effective in your life. And when it's troubled, every aspect of your life is more likely to be troubled as well. The imaging technique used, called a SPECT scan, is incredibly sophisticated. It doesn't just show the brain's structure, it shows how it works by mapping blood flow and activity patterns. These colorful images reveal three critical things: areas of the brain that are strong and healthy, areas that are underactive and struggling, and areas that are overstressed. The goal, then, becomes to bring this entire system into balance. To put it visually, a healthy brain scan shows full, even, symmetrical activity. It looks whole and complete. Compare that to the scan of an alcoholic, which is full of holes and gaps, a clear sign of toxicity. Or consider the scans of three different 60-year-olds, one with Alzheimer's, one who is overweight and has sleep apnea, and one that is healthy. The differences are stark. The question is, which brain do you want to have? The most exciting part is this: you are not a prisoner of your current brain health. If you start making better choices today, you can begin to measurably improve your brain function within just 2 months. Think about how empowering that is. The psychiatrist leading this research even scanned his own brain at age 52 and found that it looked significantly younger and healthier than before. Why is this so critical? Because your brain, while only 2% of your body's weight, is the most energy-demanding organ you have. It consumes 20 to 30% of the calories you eat. It is the most expensive real estate in your body. And while we naturally lose about 85,000 brain cells a day, this research proves we can either accelerate that aging process with poor habits, or we can slam on the brakes and decelerate it. So let's first understand what damages our brain. Some of these are obvious: traumatic brain injuries and the abuse of drugs and alcohol. The researcher is often asked why he doesn't drink. His answer is simple: I really like my brain. Having seen thousands of scans of alcoholics, he notes they are consistently unhealthy. In one powerful demonstration for a documentary, they scanned a young man when he was drunk, and the activity in his frontal lobes, the seat of focus, judgment, impulse control, and empathy, virtually shut down. But there are other, more insidious brain damagers. We're now learning that obesity is a disaster for the brain. There are now multiple studies, including one published in the prestigious journal Nature, that show a direct correlation. As your weight goes up, the physical size and functional activity of your brain go down. When the lead researcher read the first of these studies, he was so concerned he immediately lost 25 pounds. As he puts it, when it comes to your brain, size matters. You do not want a smaller brain. Other major culprits include smoking, which constricts blood flow and prematurely ages the brain just as it does the skin. High blood pressure is another silent enemy. As pressure goes up, blood flow to the brain goes down. And then there is the standard American diet, aptly abbreviated as SAD. This diet, high in processed foods, is not only linked to heart disease and cancer, but is also strongly associated with depression, attention problems, and Alzheimer's disease. The researcher makes a powerful distinction. Food is either medicine or it is poison. Foods that can make you depressed and foggy include sugar, fast foods, which are fast because they lack fiber, processed foods, and for many people, pro-inflammatory foods like corn and popcorn. His simple rule is this: if it's grown on a plant, eat it. If it's made in a plant, don't. He even humorously laments the food served at his local church, noting that the donuts, bacon, and hot dogs are sending people to heaven early.
A common question is about coffee. The research suggests that anything that interferes with sleep or healthy blood flow to the brain is problematic. Brand new data indicates that 6 cups a day is associated with significant trouble, while 1 cup is probably not a big deal. However, less is clearly better. Caffeine is addictive, and the withdrawal symptoms are a sign of that. There are simply better, more sustainable ways to generate energy, starting with prioritizing quality sleep. Now for the good news. What can you do to strengthen your brain and make it younger? Positive social connections are crucial. The people you spend time with directly influence your longevity. Health habits are contagious. Surrounding yourself with people who have healthy habits helps you adopt them, while the opposite is also true. New learning is like exercise for your brain. Whenever you learn something new, like watching an educational video, your brain forms new connections. When you stop learning, it starts to disconnect. Sleep is non-negotiable. In 1900, the average person got 9 hours of sleep a night. Today, it's closer to 6. This drastic reduction has serious consequences. Poor sleep lowers overall blood flow to the brain and wreaks havoc on your hunger hormones, causing cravings to spiral out of control and weight to go up. Meditation has also been a surprising finding. Contrary to the old idea that it's about zoning out, brain scans show that meditation actually activates the frontal lobe, the most human, thoughtful part of your brain, responsible for focus and impulse control. And finally, we come to the cornerstone: diet. What you eat provides the raw materials for your brain's structure and function. A diet higher in lean protein and lower in simple carbohydrates is generally recommended. Specific supplements like magnesium, L-theanine, ashwagandha, and rhodiola have also shown promise. But let's get to the specific foods you can eat to feed your brain. First, let's talk about a tiny but mighty powerhouse: pumpkin seeds. These are loaded with magnesium, a mineral that has a calming effect on the brain and can help lift your mood. They are also packed with zinc, which is essential for sharpening memory and focus, and antioxidants that protect your precious brain cells from damage. With their healthy fats, they are one of the simplest and smartest snacks for a younger, stronger brain. For those on a plant-based diet, it's crucial to address omega-3 fatty acids. These are called essential fats because your body cannot make them. You must get them from your diet. While flax seeds and avocados are healthy, it is very difficult to get adequate levels of the critical brain-building components, EPA and DHA, from them alone. Therefore, a high-quality vegan omega-3 supplement is highly recommended to ensure your brain gets what it needs to build and repair itself. The overall dietary approach is to build your meals around lean proteins, healthy fats, and a wide variety of fibrous fruits and vegetables. The researcher's wife even shared a simple brain-healthy recipe: chicken with avocado and sprouts in a thin whole grain wrap. It's a delicious example of how you can eat in a way that nourishes your mind. And finally, if you're looking for a brain-boosting beverage, consider making the switch to green tea. While it does contain a little caffeine, about half that of coffee, it also contains an amino acid called L-theanine. This compound works synergistically with the caffeine to promote a state of relaxed focus, calming the mind without making you drowsy. It's a much smoother, more balanced energy lift for your most important organ. The message from 250,000 brain scans is ultimately one of hope and agency. Your brain's health is not predetermined. By making conscious choices, nurturing social connections, prioritizing sleep, engaging your mind, and critically, feeding it the right fuels, you can take control. You can start the journey to a younger, sharper, and more resilient brain, and you can begin to see the benefits sooner than you might think.